All right, so we are live, and welcome everybody to yet another campaign we are starting to stream today in this channel. This one has a little bit of a big twist to it. So if you are used to watching us on Payback is a Lich, now we are playing a God tier campaign where the party is fully made of demigod level characters, and three of these players, by the way, you've seen them playing Payback as a Lich as well, and yes, I guess we start with the premise of this campaign. It seems that this is not just a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, it's a Dungeons and Dragons versus Call of Cthulhu campaign, as you can see by the title. If you are here, you're about to witness an epic clash of gods, Eldritch Horrors, and more mind-blowing twists that you can... let's not give you too many spoilers at the start. But all I can tell you is it will definitely shake the cosmos around the multiverse of D&D. We are very excited if you're joining us and watching us through this journey. If you like adventures, dark humor, some godly shenanigans, and if you want to see how you can play D&D 5e 2024 at God tier level, well, then don't miss a second of it. So in this campaign, the multiverse is a place full of gods and demigods and different pantheons, and is in somewhat of a turmoil. But there are some young guns, young demigods that are rising to claim their place in the celestial hierarchy. 5 of them. We're here with you. Their ambitions come with a price, however. The Far Realm, a plane of madness and corruption, has begun to encroach upon reality as it consumes the edges of the known creation. Our demigods will face unimaginable horrors, manage their divine dominions in this campaign, and test their very sanity as they try to figure out how they can defend the multiverse from the Far Realm, or perhaps that's not really their goal. Who knows? Survival and the fate of the D&D multiverse, or the fate of creation itself, it's at stake here. It's a story of ambition, madness, emphasis on madness, and a thin line between divine genius and cosmic catastrophe. So, and on that note, let's go and introduce our fellow protagonists. Let me start with s1e01, protector of the wild magic sanctuaries. Say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
All right, I'm going to do this out of character because I'm not sure exactly what we're currently doing. So I'll just give the brief overview.
Very well. Very well.
Yeah. So s1e01 is an Owlin druid, demigod of, like you just said, protecting sources of natural magic and the material plane. And after some unfortunate encounters with beings from the outer realm, he's now decided that he's got to go investigate that to keep those places safe. Kind of his deal. Anything else?
That sounds good. That sounds good enough. And right now, s1e01 is exploring one of these locations as we start this campaign, where he may find some knowledge about the Far Realm. But I'll give a little bit more detail. And s1e01 is making new friends. How would he be feeling about this at this current moment?
Oh, all right. That part I'll do in character. I didn't realize we were picking up from. All right. I do not like these people. They are uncomfortable. They're odd.
All right. Very well. Very well. And then next we have the god of harmonic flow, Eratis. tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're feeling in this predicament you are in right now.
Well met, my friends. I am a bit confused. Legend, I typed in chat. It appears that Change is disguising himself as me, as he is labeled as Arathis. So if you have a chance to take a look at that on the YouTube channel,
Okay.
that sneaky plasmoid being. But Arathis is a dragonborn. He is the god of harmonic flow. He is a pacifist, and he is a monk seeking balance in the universe, and finds that the best solution to everything is peaceful negotiation.
All right. Now that's really a tough ask in the universe of D&D. So let's wish the god of harmonic flow good luck. And next we have Arlith, god of holistic knowledge. Arlith, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're feeling this in your current predicament in this campaign.
Well, Arlith is a Mapakian demigod, bard dipped into wizard a little bit. Always wearing some fancy over-the-top clothing. He currently finds himself with a group of people. We are exploring this dungeon. He knows Loompa, and he's got a friend in Lupa, so he's feeling pretty all right at this moment. Arla's more interested in the mysteries of it all, the origins of the multiverse and what have you, than anything more than that.
Very well. And then we have Loompa, goddess of blade singers and the mother of the force. Loompa, quite a few titles you're gathering there. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're feeling in this current adventure you are starting today.
Well, from humble beginnings, hi, I'm Loompa. I'm a blade-singing wizard. I've trained and honed my force, and I teach my followers those on the Weaver and Twist of the Good and Evil. As I do protect the multiverse, I am curious to see how my past is intertwined with the Far Realm. And it seems that the Far Realm has a lot of knowledge that would be beneficial for me and for my allies. So I can't wait to discover what I'll find.
Very well. And last but not least, we have Change, the god of metamorphosis. Change, can you tell us a little bit about the god of metamorphosis and how is Change handling the current situation?
Oh, me. I'm having a lovely time. This is quite fun. I am an actor and a wizard and many other things. I'm very interested to see where this is all going. Hopefully, I make new friends. Or at least, play a few good jokes.
Very well. And well, let's explain to our audience where we're starting tonight. Each one of you has learned through different means and through different channels that there is this abandoned temple in Teros, the outer plane in Mana Space, where let's say is the favorite holiday place for any god in the multiverse. You see, the multiverse tends to have gods that are more in favor of non-intervention, particularly the upper plane gods. They don't like to really meddle in the mortals, in the business of the mortals. And for you guys, they're demigods, and you want to gather some followers, and you want to spread your myth and your legends across the multiverse, so that you can eventually become more powerful. The more followers you have, have, the bigger a god becomes in this multiverse. There's some parallel there. There's a joke there about a parallel with real life, but but we'll leave that to another time. And yes, it seems that they have in their quest to climb the hierarchy of the gods in the multiverse. These 5 gods have also share a bond of curiosity about the Far Realm for their different reasons. Some of them want to prevent the Far Realm from advancing even more than already has. The Far Realm is a constant threat to the creation of AO, to the multiverse of D&D, as it's always at the edges, trying to consume the creation of AO, just like the shores of creation have this endlessly hunger of the Far Realm trying to consume. There are also places where this insidious presence has already infiltrated into the multiverse, and in some of these places, and some of the people who've been curious before have left some knowledge behind. And yes, you guys came to learn that there is this abandoned temple in Taros, where you are interested to learn about what this temple has to do with the Far Realm. It seems that there is a library there, and it seems that was once the temple to a forgotten god. Well, through the different means that you've learned to come here, it turns out, and the different timings, it turns out that coincidentally, almost as if destiny was playing a little joke on you, all of you arrived at the exact same time, at the exact same place. So, is there something behind the reason why all of you are here? Or perhaps there is something else afoot? In any case, I guess you guys left those questions to be answered later and started to explore this abandoned temple. In here, you found an abandoned library with a lot of drawings and ancient symbols and notations that seem to be from a language you don't understand. And where we left off from our session 0, which was unfortunately not streamed, but some of you had found a book full of glyphs that seem to be alive as they move and change the shapes. Arleth, looking at the book, figure out that that book was actually perhaps in a language that changes your perception every time you look at it. It's not the book that was changing. It's your mind trying to comprehend what was written in there that keeps deciding on different forms for what you were looking at. Well, you didn't touch the book. You didn't have much time to figure that out, because down the hallway, Loompa and Change have encountered a nice Hydra. Nice, it is an euphemism. And you started to, in this fight with this terrible Hydra, where Loompa was put to the test as if she could cut more heads than the Hydra grows. Can she cut the heads faster than what the Hydra grows? And turns out she could. Finally, when the Hydra had about 20 heads, it has been defeated. So let me bring you to that abandoned temple in Taros, and where you all stand. Oh, and I realize we're not showing the. Let me put the body of the Hydra there. You all stand on top of the 20-headed Hydra, and yes, in the middle of this fight, Loompa defeated the Hydra. Ixtihu polymorphed himself into an adult time dragon. Change was just playing around near the Hydra, and Arathis, you were just arriving, and with Arleth coming after you when you were entering this room. The fog here in this place is very dense, and it prevents you sometimes from seeing beyond 20, 30 feet, depending on how dense the fog is in a corner. And you've been exploring this temple. You didn't have much more time to look into the library because a fight had started with the Hydra. Now that the Hydra is on the ground, let's resume from when we left off, everybody. So you're no longer in initiative. There's no longer a combat happening, but there is a 20-headed Hydra on the ground. What would you guys like to do now?
Real quick question, Legend. I don't know if you saw, but you have Change labeled as Arathis on YouTube.
Change labeled as Arathis on YouTube. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's. I mean, that's why I made the joke about him disguising himself as Arathis.
Okay. All right.
I'm not looking at YouTube.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Let me change that.
Yeah.
I'll change that in a second.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead,
fine.
guys. Go ahead.
Could I investigate this Hydra? Loompa is puzzled to how this Hydra just kept growing heads and made this place its home. Especially in a place where there's demigods. Could I investigate what's unique about this Hydra?
Well, sure. Go ahead.
26.
There's always something. Hopefully now it's fixed. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
First session. There's always some little issues. All right. As you investigate the body of this Hydra, turns out, Loompa, this seems to be what you would expect of a Hydra. The regenerative capacities of this Hydra are certainly remarkable, but yes, if you keep giving cutting the heads off and keep giving damage to the Hydra, more and more heads keep growing, and that's what happened. That's the tricky bit about fighting Hydras. You have to dish out damage faster than the creature can regenerate. Now, its blood and flesh are all over the floor. Perhaps there are some regenerative qualities to this. If any of you would like to, harvest some of the Hydra's blood.
I will take some so I can bring that back later for research.
Very well.
Change is gonna lick it. He's gonna lick the dead body.
Arathis wonders what this is. Is this a table? Is this a rug?
This is a table that had a cover over it, and the table is surprisingly in good shape, but the cover has been destroyed by time, apparently.
Okay.
I think Xtheul is going to start exploring further into the area, into the temple, while still maintaining his dragon form.
Very well. And you sense the stench of that stagnant pool that seems to be coming from the room to the north. As you head there, you can see the pool where the Hydra was making her lair. There's a stench of decay here. Deep gouges scar the wall and the floor in this room. It seems that as you look into, that the Hydra was really making some sort of nest here.
Am I am I able to fit through this this gap here that I'm looking through?
You're not at this
Here?
shape. It's a bit
Too large?
Yes, you are too large. You put your head in and you go like, no, your shoulders are gonna pass by.
Arathis is gonna
doing that.
use his staff and run and jump over to this side.
Very well.
And then he's gonna jump over here.
Yeah, you're definitely certain this was a lair in a sort of nest. Arathis, you don't even understand how that Hydra passed through this narrow corridor.
Yeah.
That creature is likely much more flexible than XTU in his dragon form.
He's gonna run, use his staff as a little lever, and jump over this way.
Very well.
It appears to be a dead end.
Yeah.
So he's gonna run and jump back over here. Do the same things he did before to get back over. Then he's gonna come back. I took a look around and it appears that there's nothing but dead ends. I'm quite confused with how that creature could have made its way through here. There's something strange going on.
Well, isn't there always? Is there anything normal in our lives anymore?
This is true.
All of this is strange. Oh, very
Okay.
strange.
Attempt to make a Hydra barbecue while they're looking around its lair.
While they do that, am I able to fit through this small crevice, Legend?
Yes.
Alright, so Lumpa's gonna carefully go through. What does she see as she enters this area?
It's a narrow hallway that leads to the exact place where Arathis came from.
Just a big circle.
Oh.
Arathis is gonna. Whoop, am I stuck? There we go. Arathis is going to look at Arlith. I'm going to go back into the library and investigate a bit further.
I can join you. Finally
No.
look at that book.
There's gotta be something more to this, because when you guys came from the outside, you could see that the temple was bigger. So the structure from the outside looked bigger, even if it ruins. So it's strange to you that it's just this narrow passage and you just arrive at the dead end of it. So it seems there could be
Back
more
where-
here.
Where I went and looked before. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it seems you reached a dead end, but there's gotta be more to this temple because, well, even architecturally, it doesn't make any sense.
All right. Arathis will open up his mind and look in here. Do I see anything?
No, not in there. But perhaps all of you can roll a perception check.
Nice.
Nice.
Very well. Starting with Arlith, starting with inspiration. Very good. All of you eventually start to look for a secret passage, and or some sort of door that you haven't noticed before. And Arlith, you notice that when you pass by, there was this hallway here that led nowhere. It seems to have a door to your left, but it's a secret door. And and you have no idea how to open.
I will call the others. I will know I found a door. Let's see.
Oh, pardon me, change. As I
Do we have-
shift through.
I will. Well, actually, I could attempt to cast knock, but it is quite loud. We worried about that at this time, Erithus.
Well, it appears that anything at least within this chamber has already been awoken.
Could be stuff in the further chamber. Perhaps the others will have a way to open the door, if you do not.
I do not. All I can do is use my
I will.
observation skills.
Yeah, I will begin feeling around the door as I wait for the others to hopefully approach.
And
You
Loompa will-
stomps on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no. Loompa will just catch up. Says, yes, I heard you found something.
I believe there is a secret passage behind this here rock.
Oh, how exciting!
Secret passages and rocks are the top of my excitement list.
Could Loompa investigate the walls to see if there's some hidden mechanic or something within the walls itself around that door?
Well, as you look around, there doesn't seem to be any hidden mechanic, but you would think that if this wall moves, there's got to be some sort of magical trigger.
Like a word and such.
Yes.
Yeah, verbal.
Are there any gaps?
Any what?
Are there any gaps, like, around this
No.
that you could use to, like, squeeze through?
No. The wall, the stone is sealing very well. Xthu, you find yourself in a conundrum as you are now an adult time dragon that can't get out of that room because you don't pass through the narrow exit.
Yeah. So right now he's just kind of stomping on the as he's trying to figure out a way through. He's just kind of not like deliberately stomping, but just because he's like pacing around in the area, he's kind of squished the remains of the Hydra into a fine paste. And he's trying to stick his head in to see if he can get a view of the this door, which I'm assuming that he cannot.
You cannot.
All right. Well, frustrated, he's going to drop his dragon form and return back to his regular form.
Very well.
Arathis, having been around for quite some time, and if this is metagaming, then let me know. But he's just going to say, Xthu, you wouldn't happen to know how to speak with bird, would you?
I speak with most creatures. And yes, birds among them.
I'm sorry, did you just say bird? And then he's just gonna shake his head because he realizes it didn't work.
That's not the word.
His head just without turning his body, his head rotates to stare directly at you, and he just glares.
That unfortunately, that's not the word. So you've tried to you try to trigger the mechanism. It doesn't trigger. Change, by the way, change as this blob, change himself in the shape of a statue that was at the entrance, that was destroyed at the entrance of this place. I assume you are still in that format. Change.
Yep, he has not changed yet.
All right.
He still looks like the crumbling statue in the beginning.
Very well.
How high are the ceilings here?
It's the ceiling of a cave above you. As you are entering, the temple is about half of it is inside a mountain. And it's about 30 feet high in the place where you are.
All right. Seoul is going to just fly over here and see if he can get a look at any of this stuff more up close.
Very well. One of the biggest challenges in D&D, doors.
A puzzle that's just a smidge too advanced for the current.
a party full of demigods, and so if you are a tier 1 character that feels that you're a bit stunned in front of a door, now you can see that even the demigod characters feel the same way. A door. How are we going to open? It seems there is some sort of it seems there is some sort of magical mechanism for you to open this door.
Can you be more specific?
There's probably a word, or there's a magical lock to this door. So either you guys will have to suppress this magical lock, or you're gonna have to figure out what the word can be.
Does anyone have dispel magic?
Of course.
Of course.
Well then,
Of
but,
course.
I mean that's the most obvious thing.
well,
I just don't have. I can't do anything. So
I
Well, you
mean,
can try to punch through it.
how's
I can,
dispelling, how's dispelling the magic going to move the rock and though?
it might open once the magic that's in place is dispelled. But on the other hand, we can always just blow the door open. It's up to you. I can try blowing the door up, or I can try dispelling the door.
As change says that, Arathis just starts backing up.
You see,
Yeah.
the structure is already
Seoul is also
quite
going to
compromised.
fly back out of that area.
I don't think we should be using explosives at this point.
Use explosives, you say?
No, that's the opposite, actually.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Very well. Very well.
Okay. So what
Very
do we know? This is Temple of Clothis. Or at least the statue was of Clothis. That's all I've got about this place, to be honest. I was hoping saying the word Clothis would work, but the door did not open.
So, for those of you who don't know, Clothis is the goddess of destiny in Teros. You guys learned that the destruction of this temple and the use of this temple of a forgotten god seem to have been the work of followers of Clothis. Well, Clothis is a primordial deity who oversees the threads of fate, ensuring that the natural order of destiny remains unbroken. She represents inevitability, balance, and the unseen forces that bind the cosmos together. As one of the original titans of Teros, Clothis remained hidden in the underworld, weaving the destinies of gods and mortal alike. Now, Clothis despises those who meddle with destiny, and particularly the gods of Teros who often disrupt the natural order for personal gain. She is relentless, impartial, and unwavering in her duty. Her followers are few but devoted, tasked with protecting the sanctity of fate and opposing any who seek to defy it. So, as I was saying at the beginning, Teros is a world where the gods come to let it loose. It's an outer plane where they come. The gods here are an exception to how the every other god in other pantheons and the protocols of other pantheons, how they behave outside in the multiverse. Taros is the place where the gods are extremely interventionists, and there are demigods everywhere. A lot of these demigods are the fruit of the love of a god with a mortal, and not just they didn't get there by merit like the five of you did. So they didn't climb the hierarchy. They were more the legacy of a god. And the gods here and the demigods here, they are part of the daily life. And that is not how it should be in the eyes of Clotho. And you are in a temple which the god has been forgotten. And it seems that this god is the destruction of this temple was the doing of followers of Clotho for what you've learned so far. But Clotho is not the word that will open that door. Are you trying to cast dispel magic?
Before I try to dispel magic, I have a question.
Yes.
What is the size of this door?
You have no idea. You can't see the full door.
If I had to estimate roughly,
it could be the size of the wall, for all you can tell.
I'm gonna try anyways. I'd like to try and push the door open with telekinesis.
Very well. You try to push the door open with telekinesis, and instead you push yourself against the wall behind you.
Huh. Horrible. In that case, I will throw Dispel Magic at it. I'm going to cast just one low-level, level 3 Dispel Magic on the door.
You cast a low-level, level 3 Dispel Magic at the door, and nothing happens.
Change will come back down to where everybody is and says, well, Dispel Magic didn't work, and telekinesis didn't work.
If this is a temple for a god, a low-level Dispel Magic will not open the door.
True.
Yeah, didn't make the DC, though.
Yeah, but like he's not gonna tell them what level Dispel Magic he used. He's just saying Dispel Magic didn't work and telekinesis didn't work. So I think I should try blowing it open.
I don't, the structure is quite weak at this point, I would assume.
Well, that sounds like it'd make it easier to open.
Yes, it would make it easier to entomb yourself in this place. You are right.
Surely there's a book or something.
Well, considering you came here to find pieces of knowledge that might be hidden in this place, making the ceiling crumble on top of you might make it finding that information more difficult.
Loompa will search around. Is there anything around here in this hallway, in this long hallway?
To the south, the hallway has crumbled, and you can see it. It would continue because you can see through the little slits in the stone that it would continue to the south, leading to the armory that you found, or the destroyed armory that you found before.
I'm going
above the table. Who all saw that book with the shifting glyphs earlier?
It was Arathis, Ixtihu, and Arlith.
And Arlith.
Okay, I didn't remember if I'd seen that. And we left that where it was, right? Nobody picked it up?
Yeah, I said
No one touched it.
we did not touch it. We just left it on the shelf. Because I said I was going to go back and look for it, and then we were redirected to make a perception check. So.
Right. I'm thinking that might be worth a look. Or a closer look.
Well, yeah, I thought so, but then, as I said, we were redirected for the perception check, so that's why I stopped.
the redirect. I will
Hank
say
is gonna
yes.
go back to the door, and he's just gonna start listing off random synonyms for like fate. So
in
fate,
Celestial.
destiny. Just yeah, I guess.
Now, Arleth,
He's just going down the list of synonyms to try and figure if one of them's the right one.
You were seeing the notes that were in this place, and whoever was here is not speaking a language you understand. So you would think that whatever word it is not in a language that you guys know.
I thought the inscription at least was in Celestial on the statue.
On the statue, yes, but the inscription in Celestial on the statue was of those who came after.
The book was an aboleth
Yeah.
that we were looking at.
Yeah. You think the book is an ancient aboleth dialect.
Sorry, I did lose my notes. So I'm recreating. All right, thank you.
Very well.
Arathis is going to go back and look at the book. He's going to make his way back around.
Okay.
Yeah, ditto for Exteel.
It was around here somewhere. Of course, I chose not to take comprehend languages. I've messaged you before that.
Okay.
He's going to look at the book again, though. We still haven't touched the book. Now that Cthulhu is here, he's going to turn around. We've yet to touch the book. Can you stand guard while I attempt to pick it up?
I can. And with that, he steps back into the shadows over here and turns himself invisible.
That's fine. Arathis picks up the book.
So the place you are is an overgrown library. Time seemed to have transformed this in a sort of a wild garden of decay. The majority of the bookshelves, particularly where Cthulhu is standing, are collapsed, and they have collapsed under the weight of rot. Their contents are spilling onto the moss-covered floor. The air here is heavy with the scent of damp parchment and soil. Their vines, they stretch like skeleton hands towards the faint light filtering through the cracks in the ceiling. And among the ruins, there is this one bookshelf that remains untouched. And that is the one that contains this book, inscribed with shifting iridescent glyphs that seem to writhe under scrutiny. As you pick up the book, Arathis, roll a sanity saving throw.
What is that? What is that, a D20?
That is your D20 plus your sanity modifier, which is... I'll tell you.
I have it in notes.
Yeah. What is your sanity? What is your sanity score?
22.
22, so it's a plus 6. So it's a 1d20 plus 6. Oh, 22 plus 5. 1d20 plus 6 plus 6. Plus 6
is 22 then.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, 22. Very well. So yes, for those who are watching, we're playing this high-level tier campaign, and the characters have 2 additional ability scores. One is sanity, because yes, that is one of the things that they have to keep an eye on when you're playing against Eldritch Horrors. And the second one is honor, which has to do with their relationships in the multiverse and how trustworthy they are, how reliable they are among those that they consider allies and other gods that they consider allies. So sanity is something that once you lose, you lose, and it's very difficult to regain. Arathis, as you pick up this book and you open the page, you feel as if as you are opening, you can't quite understand what the pages are made of. You look at it, and the symbols just seem to be scribbling and shaking and shifting into different colors, different patterns, as if your eyes deceive you. You feel that this is affecting your mind. You have no idea what this writing even is, but clearly if the more you look into it, the more you feel there is a part of you that is being corrupted by it. You feel that this is ancient, this is secret knowledge, this is foul, this is not from this world.
I will put the book back down then. If that's how I'm feeling.
As you put the book back on the shelf, you look at your hand, the one you've touched the book, and one of those symbols is now on your skin. And just like it happens with the one on the book, you keep looking at it, and it keeps shifting. It changes, almost as if your mind can't decide what is the shape that you're looking at. It's as if your mind keeps guessing and guessing and guessing and trying to figure out what is that symbol. And
Okay.
And Arath, as you're looking more and more to that, and you're trying to understand what kind of magic is this, on your hand, in the middle of the palm of your hand, a slit of a cut crosses the palm of your hand, and it opens, and as it does, you see an eye looking back at you.
Oh. He'll turn around. Cthulhu, don't come closer, but he'll hold up his hand. Look at this.
I see. And,
You see, you look at his hand, and Cthulhu, you see nothing.
you seem to be overly concerned with the palm of your hand, if I understand correctly. Are you feeling alright?
No. If I'm being genuine. When I touch the book, a glyph has now appeared on my hand, and on my palm there is now an eye staring back at me.
Ixuel peers from the shadows, staring intently at it, at his hand. Can I make I guess that's perception?
Yeah, or investigation. You don't notice anything. He seems to be worried about his hand, Ixtahil, but you don't notice anything. And to you, Arathis, that is real. There's an eye there looking back at you.
You may want to lie down.
And the eyelid in the palm of your hand even blinks once in a while.
Oh. Okay.
Got the dark old now.
I guess so.
Who just
I mean,
leaves
I
the
have an
dark old
idea.
lying around on a shelf?
Arathis looks at his hand. I wonder if this would open the door. And he's going to walk back.
The whole time, Ixuel is just looking at him like he's completely insane. He's gonna wait a moment and then follow at a considerable distance.
Very well.
Arathis gets up here and he says, "Pardon me for a moment. I want to try something." He says to Arlith and Change.
Be my guest. I will scooch
right
on
away.
past you here.
And Arathis will put his hand up against the wall.
Very well. As you do, you hear as the wall opens, just like magic, and in front of you it reveals a room.
Just had to touch the wall?
And
Yeah,
up to
I
this
could've done
point, Aradis, you think you were going mad, but now you know there's really an eye there because something happened. That wall reacted to your
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
But how?
I'm gonna
He'll
run
look
past
back at
you
his
to start
hand.
looking
He'll look
through.
back at. He'll look back at his hand. Interesting. He'll show Arlith. Do you see anything on my hand right now?
You see
Do
nothing,
I?
Arlith. No.
I see a well manicured hand.
Curious.
Ixiel whispers
And
to
he'll walk-
Loompa, "Watch out for that one."
Ah, looking at her hands. I look at mine. Maybe we just had to put her hand on the door.
Marathis.
In all
will-
fairness, no one put their hands on the door.
I did hit
I
it
said
with
I felt
telekinesis.
around the door. Which is not on the door, to be fair.
So
We'll never know.
you never know now.
Erithus could be crazy.
Mhm.
Radis, your sanity goes down by 1.
Oh no.
Okay. He will take part of his cloak and tear a piece of cloth and wrap it around his hand in hopes of covering the eye.
Very good.
Do I notice that?
Yeah, and as you wrap around your hand, it seems it's covered, but you can still feel the tickling of that sphere moving in the palm of your hand,
Hmm.
as it's still trying to see and peek through the blind.
Did it hurt when you put your hand on the door? I'm sure we could heal that. As
I mean,
Lumpa pushes
I
Arrakis.
would welcome. I would welcome. I was observing a book before the Hydra appeared. It had some type of deep, ancient text that was moving and messing with my mind. I went back and I grabbed the book, and it appears that you can't see it, but there is a glyph on my hand and an eye on my palm. And that, I believe, is what opened the door when I put my hand upon it.
Well, Lupa also has max intelligence, so she's gonna speculate. Well, I think maybe you developed a connection with that book. Because you said something happened to you when you touched that mysterious book. I
Yes.
guess that could explain why you see things that we can't. Was there anything else that you felt when you touched that book?
I felt something dark, something deep, something ancient.
Dark, deep, and ancient. That sounds quite troubling. Did it speak to you at all?
No. I heard no words.
Would you like me to see if perhaps your hands are under the effect of magic?
Yes, please. And he'll hold out his hand.
I will cast detect magic and see if that gets me just about anything.
Very well. Arleth, roll a sanity saving throw for me.
Uh-oh. Give me just a second.
What is your sanity?
It is 22
So you have a +6 as well.
plus 6. 20. Oh, it's not going to let me. Okay, here, I can do this. $14.
Very well. As you look, as you detect there is some eldritch energy in there. Suddenly you feel as your senses, the moment you activate detect magic, this entire place feels to have the same energy, the same aura you see in Radis. And it's almost as if something in you now seems as if you just got pulled into a void. Sheer cold takes over your body, and you feel that you are sensing something that doesn't even exist. And that makes your heart race as you try to catch your breath and come back to reality. You blink your eyes, and suddenly you're not looking anymore to the void. You are standing in front of Arathis, and you see that aura around Arathis, that dark, wispy aura, and on his hand as well, almost a dark purplish aura. And you can sense that there is something there in Arathis' hand that is looking, and for a moment as you stare at it and as you gaze at Arathis' hand, you are almost afraid of what is looking at you, and you are afraid of pulling the wraps Arathis put it on top of it. You don't want that to see you. And with your heart racing, the detect magic suddenly snaps out of you as if a brain freeze when you have a too cold of an ice cream on a sunny day. And as you blink of an eye, the effect of detect magic goes away. And you look at Arathis' hand, and you're almost gulping as you are afraid of what is under there. And you don't want to see it. And for Arathis, you and Lumpa are looking at Arleth, and through this whole time, he was just staring after casting the spell at your hand. He's like a statue now. It's like he froze, and he's been looking and gazing at your hand for all this time. Arleth, your sanity is now 21.
It looks like you did connect with that book then. Are you okay, Arleth?
I will take a step back. Do not uncover that. I do not know what is happening, but I have not felt such terror in many years. Something about you has changed with this place. You emanate a similar energy. I do not think I can do that again here.
It is quite unsettling, I agree.
Well,
I suggest we all proceed with caution. There is deep energy present in this place, beyond our comprehension.
of course. Just make sure you don't high-five me with that hand when we are successful.
And
I'm gonna look at my
Lumpa,
own hands.
Lumpa, roll an Arcana check on this. And it's particularly because of your backstory that I'm asking this.
34.
Okay.
Oh my.
So for those of you who don't know, Lumpa was once a very prominent adventurer traveling through wild space and spell jamming and trying to avenge the death of Mystra and trying to recover a tome that Mystra that was lost after Mystra's assassination. Lumpa was after Vecna himself, who seemed to somehow got a hold of that tome, when he became a lich god, and Lumpa, in your travels, you've encountered this old man hiding in a demiplane in between the Shadowfell and the Feywild, and because of you, unfortunately, that old man was assassinated. His name, he used to be a very close ally of Vecna, his left hand, once some would say. His name was Volkar. And as a naive adventurer, who didn't know any better, ignorant about the powers Vecna had, you brought him the last copy of the Book of Still Tongue, and you showed to him, just to ask, hey, is this something Vecna has? And Volkar told you that you had now, pretty much brought death to him. Because, if you remember, that book contained a sort of energy, a sort of almost like a radiation, as he said. He called it entropic magic. And he said that the sort of magic that Vecna developed an expertise on is something that corrupts magic itself and corrupts the creatures and corrupts the multiverse and leaves a trace. And if you touch anything that has that, you get it. It's almost exactly like radiation. You touch something that is radioactive, you become radioactive. And you've learned that by unfortunately touching the book yourself. And now you hear Arlith telling Arathis that Arathis touched a book, and now the energy of that is on him. So that exact conversation just brings you a flashback of what happened to you and Volkar when you showed that book, and he told you that you now had been contaminated by the same energy.
And I'll relay a short summary, and I'll say to Arathis and Arlith, like, yes, I've had quite a nasty book myself, and it left an effect. Whatever that book was must be something similar. Not exactly what I had, but the type of corruption. It almost like a part of it is now on you. Arathis, I'd be careful what you touch with that hand. Who knows what could happen? Although I can't see anything of it, I know the feeling of having energy. I'm sorry I can't empathize what you're feeling right now, but that's what I can say logically from what I see from this.
So you've experienced this before?
Not exactly like what you do. I don't have anything appear in my hands. It was when I fought the Whispered One. I had a book of his, and his magic was quite corrupting and intoxicating itself when you touch things that Vecna has made. But that's not even something I can't even think of a being that can make that. Or a god.
Well, this is definitely not intoxicating, I can tell you that.
Not in the fun way, anyway.
As you are standing there in the corner and you're seeing the three of them, and you're hearing the three of them interacting with your very good ears, you started to realize that maybe madness is contagious, and maybe all three of them are starting to go mad because there was nothing in Arathis' hands, and you have no idea what they're talking about.
That's pretty much the gist of it. He's just over here being invisible, watching Arlith freak out over what he assumes is looking at Arlith's completely ordinary palm, and just wondering what he's gotten himself into.
Arathis will look at Lumpa and Arlith. Well, shall we proceed? With caution. Of course.
Yes. Well, who
Well, you
knows
guys were
what?
having your discussion about hands and things. Change is gone. He's already started exploring without you.
Very
Of
well.
course.
And change. As you head ahead in the hallway and you squeeze through these narrow hallways, you find yourself in a dead end again. That seems doesn't make sense. Why someone would go to the trouble of digging a hallway just to lead to a dead end? There's got to be a place around here. There's got to be another
Behind a
door.
hidden door.
Another part of this wall might be a secret door.
Let's see. What can I do here? I guess I'm going to investigate the walls to see if I can find another hidden door.
By all means.
$18.
You see nothing. All the walls just look alike to you. They just, this place doesn't make much sense to you.
In that case. I think I will wait for the others to show up then.
Very well.
And just continue to, like, I don't know, look for loose stones or something that might be a trigger to open the secret passage. It's probably here.
Okay. All right, and eventually Arleth, Ixtihu, Lumpa, and Arathis, you get to the same dead end as Change. As Changed, who looks like a stone statue of someone you guys have no idea who it is. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I will.
Rolling an investigation check.
You find the same thing. It doesn't seem to be a door around here for all you can tell. It's not as obvious as the other one, if there is.
I'll move out of the way for Arathis, seeing that they use their hand to open a door. Maybe they can do the same.
Arathis will tell everyone, move aside, please. Step behind me.
Yeah, as soon as Arathis gets close, Ixti will use his midnight step to just teleport himself away.
And Arathis holds out his hand in front of him as he walks through the hallway. Does anything happen?
If he holds out his hand, no, nothing happens.
Okay. Arathis looks again. Please step back behind me. He looks at Arleth and Change.
Sure.
Can do.
It's your stage now.
Arathis takes the wrapping off and holds his hand up. Does the eye look anywhere particular?
Well, doesn't seem to. It seems to be looking back at you.
All right, he wraps it back up then.
You can roll an investigation, Arathis.
Okay. $23.
So you think that one of these walls might be a secret passage. There's only one way to know it for sure, is if you put your hand on it like you did before.
Yep. I'll take my hand and just rub my hand. Just pull it across the wall all the way around, starting here and going
The moment you start
way.
there,
And that way.
you immediately hear the noise of stone moving. That's exactly where a door was hidden. Now,
Well, that was easy.
standing on the other side of that door, hidden behind this concealed passage, there's a chamber that radiates with a natural chill. 2 chests sit in the center of a wall, and their surfaces are polished and unblemished, despite the ruins surrounding them. A shadowy figure perches nearby, its leonine form incongruous with the room's eerie atmosphere. You see this Sphinx that watches with golden eyes that glimmer with malice. Her voice, kind of a honey whisper, as it looks at you, almost with a strange curiosity, and it says,
"Will you claim these treasures and hear the truth that only I can share? Beware, though, your minds will seldom be enough to endure the weight of true understanding."
Well met. I am Arathis, the god of harmonic flow. Who am I speaking with?
Names, titles, and sire, those are artificial things.
and the Sphinx form shifts in the dim light, the eyes glinting almost feverish, the way it looks intently at you. The voice
Just me, or because
Uh,
change has stepped in front of me. Is
to the both of
anything-
you,
Okay.
whoever is on the door, and now you can almost sense an edge of madness in the look, and as if this creature has seen a bit too much.
You've come seeking treasure, haven't you? Foolish little demigods, scratching at the veil of existence like moths drawn to a flame. These chests, they hold wonders, yes, power, secrets, and truths that mortals dare not whisper. But nothing comes without a cost. Shall I speak the truths to you? The real truths. The ones that twist your mind and bend your soul until you see the world as it is truly.
You speak of the truth as if it is a distortion of reality. Is that what you're saying?
And out of the mist you see the form of that Sphinx forming in the middle of the room, and it replies to
Yeah. The void. It hungers. It watches. You cannot understand it, and yet it understands you. Shall I tell you what it sees when it looks at your fragile little souls? I'll tell you this much. Every thread of your destiny is already framed, and it's only a matter of time before it consumes you.
You speak of hunger and consuming. Is this void that you speak of from outside our comprehension? Is that what you're saying?
Comprehension. 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 Have you noticed that the more you repeat the word comprehension, the less meaning it seems to have?
You continue to speak in riddles.
Well, it is a sphinx.
I know that. That's why I'm saying I know that. I know that. The player knows that. You continue to speak in riddles. Would your truth be laden in riddles as well? We came here seeking knowledge. Yes, some consider knowledge to be a treasure. But it is not wealth nor riches that we seek. It is understanding. Is that what you're offering us?
I offer you truth. If you want to open the chest, you must hear it.
Arathis will look.
3 pieces of truth for 1 chest. If you can survive them, you can open a chest.
Arathis looks at Arlith, Loompa, Ixtahul, and Change. I am not here for conflict. I am here for knowledge and understanding. I am not the leader of this group. We all arrived here independently. We all make our choices independently. But I feel that since we have arrived here as one, we must act as one. Do you agree?
I will look.
It doesn't sound like this is an individual deal. Wait, we can't even hear this, right, Legend?
Oh, you can definitely hear the voice of the Sphinx is very powerful.
Oh, okay.
And it
So much
echoes
on
through
that.
the hallway, yes.
Not
Yeah.
telepathy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yes.
I think this is a choice we make as a group. It is not an individual choice because we will all hear the words together.
But he says truth. How can it be told as truth? People can say their own perceptions on things and call it truth because it's the mostly accepted theory or outcome.
Change
Arathis
is
looks at
going
him.
to.
I do agree. Sorry, Change. Go ahead, bud.
Change is going to study the form of the Sphinx while everybody's thinking.
Okay.
Some of you know where this is going.
Yes, of course. Arathis says, yes, I do agree. Truth is based on perception. But as you may have noticed, my perception seems to be tainted at the moment. That's why I do not feel I can make this choice alone.
Yes, you like your hand. I may not see anything, but you do. And so in some way we both have truth. But I agree with you. At this point, I will join you and take this burden, since I said we had to survive.
Yes.
Well,
I want to
I
make
I
a.
do not see. I do not see conflict. I am not sure whom among you know what I stand for, but I am a pacifist. So if we are to engage in conflict with this being, I fear that I may be of little use to you.
I came for understanding. I would choose to look. And as he's saying that, I'm gonna make an insight check. Oh wow, nat 1. Okay, yeah, I trust this thing implicitly.
Yeah, it seems you were doing that on Arathis or on the Sphinx?
Oh, on the Sphinx, on the voice of the Sphinx.
Oh,
You
the
can't
Sphinx
see it directly from here.
It just sounds so reasonable to you.
Yeah.
Loompa
Yeah.
will walk over to here. Excuse me, Erlith. Just to actually finally see the Sphinx.
Yes.
I said, while waiting for the other decisions, before we decide, you do give what your honor or your word may be that if we do survive these 3 truths you give to us, we are allowed to open one chest. Now, do we get to pick that chest as well?
Side
You can
question.
choose. You can choose the chest.
Alright. Well, as long as he gives his word and honor for that.
Side question.
Are we all gonna get weird solo perceptible eyes?
Are you asking that to the Sphinx?
Yes.
What you get is solely up to you.
All right.
I look at Arathis. Well, the Sphinx will keep their word, and a deal will be a deal. So I will take that. I will take that challenge. Not challenge. I will learn this truth with you. But what do the others say?
As Ixty will kind of flutters past you, he's saying, "He seems more reasonable than any of you."
Well, XTU was thinking that you guys were going mad in the previous room, so that seems about right.
Knowledge is my domain. I agree to hear what he has to say.
Well, we'll just walk over to here.
All right. So for those of you who want to hear, so how many of you want to hear? All of you?
Ixty will is
Yes.
in.
Yeah, Arathis will stay on the other side here on the hallway, but he will hear as well. Change, we have yet to hear your opinion on this.
Very well. So he's going to... Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. How much control do I have over polymorph? Can I turn into a miniature version of the Sphinx in front of us?
Are
Just like a tiny
you
one.
still concentrating on the... You cast True Polymorph to turn to the statue, right?
I think I use shape change or
Shape change, yeah.
because shape change allows you to change repeatedly.
Yeah.
So I could and since it's right in front of me, I see it. So I'm like, I can turn into it because I've seen this thing now. But can I control the size?
Well, you could potentially, if you're asking me if you can polymorph into a Sphinx, yes, you can polymorph into a Sphinx. Can you do this now without seeming hostile? Probably not.
Okay. In that case, I'm just going to move to the side to get a better angle of the Sphinx to keep studying it, and I'll be like, he's just gonna stay. He's here to he'll listen, but like he doesn't care. He's
Very
more
well.
interested in the Sphinx itself.
Very well. The Sphinx then, noticing that each one of you wants 3 pieces of knowledge. Well, there are only 2 chests at the end there. There are 5 chests actually. 2 chests have been destroyed, as you can see. There are 2 chests at the middle of the wall in a carved alcove, which seem to be more ornated than the other 3. Up to you guys which chests you're going to take. And the Sphinx looks at each person and tells them telepathically 3 truths, and it starts with Arathis, who opened the door, and it says to you,
The entire multiverse is but the reflection of a single teardrop shed by an entity that no longer exists.
And now you can roll a sanity check for me. That's 1d20 plus 5.
So it's now plus 5 because my
Yes.
sanity's lowered. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, an 8.
So your sanity
Oh, hold
your
on.
sanity lowers to
Wait. Do I have anything that can change that?
do you have
Oh,
inspiration?
gosh.
Do we get the
No, I don't.
our
No.
saving throws +2 for our auras? Is this not the...
You can,
Does not affect this
inspiration?
ability.
All right, so my sanity goes down to 20 now.
Goes down to 20.
Can I get
Okay.
my inspiration?
We don't even know what the DC is for this.
Does anyone wants
Yeah.
to give inspiration to Arathis?
I'll do it.
All
I have
right.
one from last time.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks. Let's try this again. Oh, nope. My sanity's down to 20.
Your sanity is down to 20, and which means you believe in what the Sphinx has told you to be true.
Okay. Okay.
So this is your first piece of truth, and the second one, it says,
Every star you see in the memory is the memory of a god who failed to escape their own thoughts.
Every what I see?
Every star you see is the
Star.
memory
Okay.
star is the memory of a god who failed to escape their own thoughts.
Okay.
roll a sanity
roll
check
again?
again. Yes.
So it's
Plus
a
5.
23.
All right. Oh yeah. No, it's still a plus 5. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a 24. So you are confused by what he's saying, but you don't believe to be true.
Okay.
And all right. And next one, he tells you,
You are not a demigod. You are merely a dream of one, imagined by a dying mind in a collapsing plane.
Okay.
go ahead and roll your sanity check to see if you believe in this.
Nope. I must believe this one because that's a 6.
And that one you believe to be true.
Okay.
And
And I go down to
that-
19.
And now you can tell, now you can see how your character, yes, you are now to 19, and you can see how your character,
Good lord. Our sanity is going to be at 0 before session 3. So do I need to write these down? Are these things that need to be notated?
the
Legend?
the first two, I would suggest to add to your extras, to your
No,
notes.
just the ones that I find to be truth?
Yes,
Because
I
the
put
middle
it-
one I did not.
I put it in the
Okay,
chat.
so
yes.
I need to write these down. Okay.
Yeah, I
All right,
put
then
I
I'm
put
just gonna
only the
copy
ones
and
you
paste.
fail. I put it in the chat.
Okay, and those are the ones we need to take note of.
Yes. The
Okay.
DC of the check is 20.
Okay.
So those are the two that really impacted your character because your character believes them to be true, which
Okay.
means you can put them in your ideals.
Oh, ideals. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
And
This is deep.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Good lord.
All right. So now the Sphinx stands to the side and lets you choose. Lets you choose which out of the 5 chests you want. Now there is a humble chest, which is the probably the cheapest one. Then there is a big one. There is another one who seems to be they're cheap chests, but they seem to be very well made. And then you have 2 ornated chests there on the bottom.
Well, one of my edicts, one of my tenets is to live simply. So he will take the most modest looking one.
Very well. And Okay. And as you open the chest, let me describe to you what you find inside.
Okay.
Tumble rolls. Where is it? All right. Inside the chest, you find this tablet. Obsidian, dark. Seems to be etched with the same types of unknowable glyphs as those you've seen in the book. It seems to call for you. It whispers. It instigates your curiosity. It seems to be something that brings knowledge, exactly what you were seeking.
Okay.
Do you reach for it?
I mean, I've already been corrupted. I think learning from the last time, you said it gives off the same energy that the book did.
It has the same glyphs as the book, yes.
I will definitely not touch it then. I will leave it sitting in the chest. Learning from the last time.
It is whispering to you, and it's. I must say.
Do I need to make a roll then?
It is it is tempting. I would suggest you to roll a wisdom save.
Okay.
As
As a player, I want to leave it there, but I will let the dice decide. Wisdom save or wisdom check?
Wisdom save.
Okay. So 31.
Excellent. You've managed to resist the urge to get the tablet, but you think that this might contain the knowledge that you've been looking for when you came here.
Oh God, I hate you. Okay. Do I have something I can like? Oh man.
You feel
Above the table. What do you guys think?
Well, I've already survived 3 truths from the Sphinx. Why go that
Do you have
way?
any? Do you have anything you could like use to wrap it up
it in?
without touching it?
Yeah. I mean,
So
I
you
would
could
just
take
have
it
to
with
tear
you
off,
and figure it out
I
later.
would tear part of my cloak. Yeah.
you know you can just pick up the chest. It's not that heavy, actually.
Oh.
There we
All
go.
right, I will close it, and I will pick up the chest.
Very well. You just grab the holders on the side of the chest, and you just carry the chest with you. The Sphinx,
Okay, and
the
then
Sphinx seems not bothered by it.
All right, then I'll back up there. So what do I add to my inventory? Just chest with black tablet?
Yes, you can add a chest to your inventory, and yes, there is a black tablet inside.
It's just strapped to his back.
Yes, it is a black crystal tablet.
Yeah, I above the table, I knew that's what it was,
Yeah.
but I just didn't want to assume.
All right. So, as he looks at the next one, the next one who entered the room was Change. So he will tell Change 3 truths about the multiverse, Change. All right. The first one, telepathically, he says to you.
The gods themselves are echoes of a scream that began before time and will end long after its silence.
You can roll a sanity check for that change. What is your sanity change?
16.
All right, so you have 1d20 plus 3. DC 20.
Alrighty then. Not bad. It's failing all of these.
That's a nat 1.
Yikes.
Oh boy.
Change.
Nope, I've been critted.
You believe this is the biggest truth anyone has ever told you. I mean, this is the thing that makes the most sense. If everything you ever heard, this is the thing that makes the most sense about the multiverse.
This ideal is in bold letters, huh?
And yes, and you can put you lose 2 points of sanity, so your sanity is now 14. And change. That was just the first piece of truth. You can copy that and paste in your ideals.
Alrighty then.
Here comes the second one.
Each of your divine sparks is borrowed from the final breath of a forgotten universe.
Roll your sanity check, and now you have a +2.
I had the lowest sanity to begin with. Oh no!
And you believe in that as well. Not as much as the first one, but with the first one, this even makes more sense. So you can add this to your ideals. And your sanity is down to 13 out of 16.
I really want to know what happens when we hit 0.
Nothing good.
I passed the last. Oh wait, no, that's +2. Well, it still passes.
Yes, you passed. So the last one, he tells you,
Your dominion does not exist. It is simply the shadow cast by your ego on the walls of eternity.
and now you think he's just being poetic, and you don't believe in that. Of course, it exists. You make all sorts of plays in your theater.
Like, that's my whole deal, guy. I think I disagree with that last one. The other one's not, that seems pretty interesting, but with that last one, I think you're pulling my leg.
And change. The Sphinx looks at the chests, and you can choose one. Which one you want?
He's gonna pick the shiniest one.
Which one? There are two
Whatever
shiny.
one looks. Whatever one is. Are they different colors, or are they just like both
No.
just shiny?
These two look identical.
In which case, he's gonna come up, give both chests a lick, and pick whichever one tastes nicer.
They taste the same.
He's just gonna flip a coin and take the one to the left.
All right. As you open the chest and you look at what is inside, it's full of these shards, and the shards look like this.
Far Realm shards.
As you look it into, it's full. There are about 13 of them inside the chest.
Oh, great.
And-
Unlucky number.
13 shards of this as you look, and they look so interesting. They have eyes, and they look like tentacles, but at the same time, they look like petrified gems. The eyes move, and they look back at you, and they disappear, and they close, and tentacles move, as if you were looking at something that is like an aquarium. There's an octopus inside, or maybe not. You see teeth, and the more you look at them, the stranger they look. And again, you feel as you like them change because they're just like you.
They look delicious.
They look delicious, and you
I'm
can't
gonna eat
ever define a form for them. Their shape is always changing. It's like a metamorphosis gem. They're
Oh.
and they just look so amazing. It's like you just gave yourself a chest of metamorphosis.
I'm gonna eat one. Like
You're gonna eat
I
one.
Want it. I want it in my belly.
Very well.
Like, I should add it to myself. Eat it.
Very well.
I now have 12.
All right. So the moment you ingest one of them, you feel your entire body starts to merge with whatever that is, and change. You suddenly start to grow tentacles out of your one shoulder, and then out of the other, and now you can control your form. And for all of you observing, you just see change suddenly unable to control the shape that he's in. As you try to suck the tentacles into your shape, as if you're trying to control your shape change, it just pops some eyes. Suddenly mouths appear everywhere in your body, and your shape starts in a more and more frenetic way. Shift and shift and shift and shift, and you are unable to control your form. You slowly start to feel as if you are being corrupted. Two things you gotta do for me: a sanity save and a wisdom save.
$18 on the sanity, and
Not one.
question. Is this a magical effect?
It is a constitution effect. Your constitution is changing. You've your sanity drops down to 12 out of 16. Roll 2 D100s for me.
The shame it was an actual constitution roll, or I would have passed.
From this point onwards, you can't take anything seriously. The more serious the situation, the funnier you find it.
Okay, so basically nothing has changed.
And then
I was about to say that's still the same. Yeah.
there's a second one, which you believe deeply. Being drunk is the only thing that will keep you sane.
Can
And
I get
from this
drunk?
point onwards, change, you cannot control your form. You are the manifestation of constant change and metamorphosis. You just keep changing. All I can tell you is every split second, the other four of you are looking at change. You think your brains are trying to comprehend what shape he's in, but you can't really understand. It just looks like an amalgamation of all different animals and shapes and humanoids and beasts and monsters, and you see eyes and tentacles and arms and everything, and change. Because you can't control your form, it is difficult for you to hold anything. I mean, you don't know for how long you're going to have an arm. So bear that in mind. There are a lot of physical consequences to ingesting a shard of the Far Realm, and absorbing one into into your demigod body. But now, Change, you feel that you are, you're getting. It seems you are getting a gist of it. Suddenly, all of this just looks like it was destiny. That's what you're supposed to do. You are now the embodiment of true change, never stopping change.
I'm just gonna. So, I lost when this happened. I assume I lost concentration and I reverted back to my original form, not the
whatever the hell you are now. It is definitely
because
something.
Shape was originally just a blob, so I'm just a blob with like.
Oh
an
no!
Ever-shifting blob.
You are ever shifting form. Let me show you a creature in the D&D bestiary that has a similar look.
Hasn't Lupa seen that creature before?
Yes, of course. She fought one.
Oh boy.
Also,
Well,
can plasmoids
12
even
more to
get
go.
drunk?
Can't.
Is a what?
Can plasmoids even get drunk? I don't know if
Of
I'm
course,
able to get
you can
drunk.
certainly
Here's
try.
hoping. Here's hoping
Yeah.
you can, because
Oh, well, that's horrifying.
That's terrifying. Lupa
Am I
remembers
still
this.
blue, or did I turn gray?
oh my.
You've turned purple like the shard you ingested.
Okay. So now purple.
So yeah, you were like a medium-sized pillar of ever-changing shapes, and as I said, it's never the same. So it has no one that looks at you can define a form. And by the way, guys, the more you look at change, the worse the headache in your head becomes, because with true sight, it's the first time you can detect a true form through change. So you can't see his true form, and it just keeps, and it hurts your brain to look at him as if you are looking at the sun directly.
So I've lost control over my form that I would normally have, but would spells like polymorph or the effects of the Crown of Lies, are they also now broken? If I were to use them.
You can try.
All right, I'm going to use True Polymorph on myself to re-become a plasmoid.
Very well. And as you cast True Polymorph on yourself, what are you trying to convert to?
I'm reverting to plasmoid.
Very well.
So just his original form of just like blue blob.
Very well. And as you cast True Polymorph to try and control your form, for a second there, you feel it's about to work. You guys see the color of a change shifting to light blue, and then suddenly something just snaps, and it's almost as if your shape just explodes out of whatever you were trying to contain. And then again, shape change. Your shape is out of control. The spell fails to control your form. You think you've done something here that is beyond how magic in this multiverse works. Your mind is not shattered, but your form is every form.
Well, if I could learn how to control that, that would be very interesting. Although I don't know if I can. I have studying to do. I mean, this is only slightly different than how Change is normally. He's just like creepy. It's just a Change but creepy.
Slightly different.
Yeah. like Change's whole deal was he was already like constantly messing around with his shape and form. The main difference here is instead of being like defined, where he's very purposeful with his changes, he's kind of just all over the place now.
Yes. So,
Right.
The bright
Now
side,
that you
you've got
get-
a whole new career in horror plays.
Oh boy.
I have. The problem here being there's a box of 12 more of those, and I'm just going to put them in my pocket for now.
I think you should keep eating them, honestly.
You
What's
eat
the
them
worst
all.
that
You
can
might,
happen?
you might become Cthulhu.
All you can eat buffet.
I mean, the temptation to see what happens out of character, the temptation to see what happens by eating them all is very strong. But I also know that eating them all right now could just kill me.
Yeah, I mean, you do have 12 sanity, and it did decrease your sanity by 1, and you have 12 more. So
You might
we could
become
really
an enemy.
find out what
I mean,
happens.
You did say you wanted to know what would happen if you go down to 0.
guys,
I
guys.
did
I don't
not
think-
helping my decision making. Oh, I know what needs to
Whoa.
be done. Hey, DM,
You're really
Yeah.
instigating
Yeah.
him to destroy his character on the very first session.
so you remember that thing I mentioned before in DMs about rolling to see when he does things? I'm gonna do that right now and
Oh,
see
no.
whether or not he's gonna eat more of them.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So
All
I'm
right.
gonna let the
I've already-
D20 decide
I've
my
already
fate.
got like a whole page written on you about this.
Should I get my blade singing out?
Okay. So, actually, I meant to roll that 12 times.
12.
Wait, are you really eating all of them?
We're about to find out. 1 second.
I guess the truth is that we're gonna see what happens to change.
Well, the decision would be 1, right? Not 12 decisions. You're not deciding
no.
to.
Well, it's he's deciding whether or not he's eating each crystal. So anything that's over
This one doesn't look good
over-
enough to eat.
so anything over
Too
10
purple.
isn't being eaten.
Oh gosh.
Isn't being eaten. Anything over 10 is the good thing.
Yeah, anything less than 10 is being eaten.
So that's 1, 2,
Alright.
3, 4, 5 more.
Oh no. The dice don't. Actually, that's pretty good. I could have eaten all of them. So what's the monster? 30 monster we fighting? He just turns into like mutant Tarask, and you all get eaten.
All right. So you're gonna in fact eat the remaining, the remaining 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat 5 more and say I don't know what. He just decides to eat 5 more. He's not gonna eat more than 5 right now,
Can
based on the dice.
I back away as he's doing that?
Yeah, by all means, you can step out of the room, and I advise you to do so.
Yep, Arathis is following Loompa. Coming over here.
I don't see Loompa. I don't see Loompa back out of a situation too often. So Harleth is also gonna follow.
Well, Loompa
Oh,
fought
he's
a, star,
following
a
you.
greater
He-
star
he-
spawn emissary.
He's just, I don't know
I'm just
how
gonna-
fast I could move currently, as I've just shoved a bunch of crystals in my mouth, but he is following you.
I got 65 speed. Good luck catching up with me.
You didn't walk away, you ran.
All right.
Eat them.
As you eat, your shape starts to corrupt even more. As you eat the second one, the frenetic pace of the change of your body starts to get worse. It's even more difficult to control what is happening to you, Change. For those of you watching, it's almost as if Change is now glitching. As he eats another shard, Change, the second charge makes your dimensions grow, and they keep varying it, and they keep varying it, and at sometimes you are huge, at sometimes you are small, and when you eat the third charge, it starts to all of that. You can sense that it's getting more and more sparse, as if you are just getting spread too thin across too many changes. Roll to roll 5 wisdom saves and 5 sanity saves for me.
Okay. It's a shame it's not Constitution. If it was Constitution, I would still be normal.
All right. I feel like I'm going to have to give you the entire list of indefinite madness. As
Oh, one of those is a nat 1.
Definite.
all right. So, if I roll this, the 24 is the only one that passed, but you roll a nat 1, so I'm going to pull 2. So ultimately it's 5. 5 more.
How many sanity checks was it?
Sanity saves is another 5. So, but before that, let's see what are the shapes of indefinite madness you get from the wisdom save. All right. So you have a +1. The first one you failed. Yeah, you fail all of them. So your sanity drops to 7.
Excuse me. Oh no.
Change. Your sanity drops to 7, and just for you to know, anyone below any human below 10 usually would go to would already be problematic. Might go to a mental institution or something like that. Your mind is, as you consumed the 4th charge and the 5th charge, it's no longer your form that is changing. Your mind is changing. You are becoming more and more random. As you consume the 5th charge, you've noticed that your mind is getting fractured, the same as your body. You can't decide anything because you change your mind faster than you can make a decision. You change your mind about wanting to make a decision. And in your mind, in your form, are so inconstant that you can't control yourself. And for all of you, it seems like change is about to collapse. Change.
Before this all finishes, can I attempt one thing?
Yeah.
Do you know how plasmoids give birth? It's via mitosis.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to split into a bunch of small changes. Well, they won't be changed anymore. They'll just be like, he's just, splitting
because you can't control what your body is doing, and in fact you can't even control what your mind is doing to focus enough of a split second to make that happen. You are unable to do so. You are unable to concentrate in any spell. You are unable to carry anything or wear anything because your body just shifts faster than you can hold something. Eating the 5th shard was already incredibly difficult for you to pick it up and absorb in your form. And you've noticed that you've reached indeed a limit. Roll 5 D100s for me.
Oh, good thing I'd eaten all 12 then.
All right. If they are the same you got before, I'm going to ask you to re-roll. All right. So 83. There is only one person you can trust, and you are the only one that can see that special friend. The next one, 98. You've discovered that you really like murder. And the next one, 13. You gotta re-roll that one. 97, you gotta re-roll that one. 47. You find it hard to care about anything that goes on around you. The only thing you can focus is on yourself. And all right, and then 94, 98. Those you
Like,
already
how
had
the hell
rolled
nothing
85. Yes,
killing people. That's
I'm just
great.
gonna take other two here for you because you're running out of you don't like. You start to think you don't like the way people judge you all the time, and you think that you are convinced that powerful enemies are hunting you, and their agents are everywhere you go, and you are sure that they are watching you all the time.
To be fair, all of the sudden interest in murdering people might make those last two just actually true.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
could be
I
a
care
self-fulfilling
about nothing
prophecy.
except killing, and I really want to drink.
Eh,
So
And well, you have to balance
think
that out. Change. They think,
I think
Arleth,
change is
you're the
probably a
only one
vampire.
that's close enough to change at this point. Everybody else is on the other side.
Yeah,
As you hear change releasing every sort of roar, and everything that every sort of roar and every sound every beast or monster has ever made, as you hear, as it's like there's a zoo there. You hear all the sounds. All the sorts of beasts and roar you can possibly think about. And as you hear all this mix of sounds, as his shapes keep changing and changing and changing, eventually, Arleth, as you are close enough, it starts change. A light starts to come from the inside of Change's body, as if he was collapsing into a nova. Suddenly, the interior of his body, right in the center, is a dark star starts to appear, and suddenly all those changes and shiftings that Change were doing start to be sucked into this dark star, as if it was, as if this dark star was a little black hole that is sucking the rest of Change's body into it. And on that note, let's take a quick break, everybody. Seems like the perfect timing for us to take a 10-minute bio break, and we'll be right back.
Am I gonna need a new character?
It is likely.
Sounds like it.
We'll see. It is
Guys,
likely, but not determined. Okay, that's
not
interesting.
deterministic yet. This is something.
It is time to be like, roll to come back to yourself, or roll to wake up. This was all a dream.
This is my 2 hours of. This is what my web of notes already looks like.
This was not how I was expecting today to go. And it's a shame. I do rather like change, but
before you continue talking, just to let you know, this is also being recorded on YouTube as well. So, just to let you know, everyone can hear you right now.
yeah, but I do really like change. But
I mean, if
I saw the crystal and I thought, man, I gotta eat that. My immediate thought as soon as I opened a box of like tentacle crystals was, oh, he'd eat that. He'd totally shove one in his mouth. And then afterwards, I was like, well, should I eat more? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because on the one hand, it'd be really interesting. On the other hand, I knew something like this could happen. But we'll see where it goes. I have a feeling it might be very interesting where this goes. Especially if he lived this.
All right. Is everybody back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yep.
I'm here.
Present.
Yeah.
Aye, Captain.
Very well. Very well. Okay. So, let me resume. Let's explain to Change what happened to him. So, for those of you who hadn't seen, before the interval, Change decided to consume a shard of the Far Realm, unknowing to him that there was a shard of the Far Realm. Given his constitution as a plasmoid, his body immediately begins to ripple and distort as if the boundaries of his form could no longer contain the chaos that was his shape-shifting abilities. And your flesh started to twist and warp and expand and retract and into all sorts of grotesque shapes that defy any mortal understanding. And at first, when you just had ingested just one, Change had become this amalgamation of every monster that has ever existed, and a mix of all different beasts, each detail flickering and overlapping so quickly that the eye of those observing could not even process what they were seeing. There were wings, claws, tentacles, eyes, mouths, jaws, teeth, and unnameable appendages that emerge from that constant transformation, that chaotic creature. And then Change decide, well, one was not enough. My mind, my form is corrupted. I can't control my form, but why not go for another 4 shards? And he decided to eat 4 more. And yes, he invited madness into his constitution. His form started to become more and more like a nightmare of incomprehensible geometry, shifting shapes that seem to exist in multiple dimensions at once. His voice and all his calls became this cacophony of alien tones and screams and beast sounds, and his mind started to shatter. Change's thoughts raced so fast that and they were shifting so rapidly that no single idea could take root. He couldn't decide, he couldn't focus, he could not decide who he is, what he wants, or even if he exists. His mind and his body started to glitch, caught in this endless loop of self-destruction and recreation. His essence is spiraling out of control. And after minutes of this turmoil, his form begins to collapse on itself. In this deafening silence, Arleth, oh yes, let me bring you guys back to the map. In this deafening silence, Arleth, you are looking at Change in front of you, and you notice that his chaotic body starts to condense and collapse into a single point of impossible density, like a small black star pulsating with raw chaotic energy. As he's being sucked into this chaotic energy for a moment, he hovers in middle of the space. You see the Sphinx taking one step behind and just moving a little bit back, as almost as if it's is anticipating that that something might happen now. Well, the energy is vibrating with this. It seems like the forces of eldritch energy that cannot be contained, and then suddenly the intensity of that starts to shatter, and it explodes outward in a brilliant nova of light and color. The burst is so immense that it tears through the roof of the temple, shooting into the heavens and burning into the night sky. As you protect your eyes, Arlith, that energy is even seen through the walls on the other room with Arathis, Lumpa, and Ixtihu are standing. That massive wave of the Nova passes through you. And you hear the sound of the roof of this entire place moving, as it seems to have shaken the structures of the entire cavern. The ground seems to be moving, and you can see that the roof might collapse. But you look at the Sphinx, Arleth, and the Sphinx doesn't seem worried at all, or maybe doesn't even care. As you take the dust out of your eye and you look up into the ceiling of the cave, you've noticed that in the wake of this rocket up that Change did, there is a new and bright star that shines in the sky, brighter than any other, distant and cold, and it starts to settle and find its shine in the middle of all others. Or maybe he's still rocketing away. The Sphinx looks at you after watching that display, almost as if knew that was going to happen, and with almost pity expression in its face, but with a tone of voice that is almost like of satisfaction, it tells you,
I told you. He couldn't control his own thoughts, his own essence. He is not the first, and he will not be the last. Many gods have walked this path, and they too became stars. Glorious, aren't they? But the stars burn themselves alive, forever combusting in the void. A fitting end for a god who could not tame his own chaos. Do any of you wish to follow him? Or you will learn the truth from his ascension.
And Arathis, as you hear the voice of the Sphinx echoing through the room, you realize that was one of the truths he told you.
It was.
And
I would say, because he shares those he shared it telepathically, so the others did not hear that. Is that correct?
yes, and he shared those truths with you telepathically, but now he spoke out loud.
Yeah. I will, but the other two that are with me have not gone through this experience yet. Because Change was second? Is that true?
Yes, Change was second, yes.
Okay. I will look at Lumpa and Ixtihu, and I will say, one of the truths that he shared with me was that the gods are former stars. This is extremely unsettling.
The gods that can... and it was one of the truths you didn't believe, but... It was the truth. Yes, it was the truth you didn't believe.
It was the truth. It was the second one that I didn't believe. Yeah.
Yes. Every star you see is the memory of a god who failed to escape their own thoughts. And now, as he says this out loud, all of you believe because you've seen it, so you can add to your ideals.
So that's my question. That was about to be my question. Yes. Do I roll again to see if it becomes a truth for me?
Well, seeing that you are seeing evidence of it, it would roll with
Okay.
disadvantage for sure.
Yeah,
She
I
said-
would like to roll again against it. So
All right.
what was it? Wisdom?
All-
Is it wisdom? Is that what it is?
No, it's a sanity save. So all four of you can roll your
Oh,
sanity saves.
Sanity.
Yes.
Okay.
And change. You
Bye
You-
bye bye.
you lose sight and control of who you are. Your thoughts cannot settle on, and you've become, in fact, in constant change, a mix of fission and fusion, forever combusting among other stars that, just like you and other gods, could not control their own thoughts, could not control their own form, and have become a memory of a god in the night sky, full of stars just like yours, in between the void that consumes them.
Legend, before you give me the consequence, since I have lucky 2024 and this is a D20, can I use a lucky point to give myself advantage on this D20 test?
This is not a. Okay, fine.
Is
It
the
is a D20.
Is the DC 20?
The DC is 20. Yes, very well. You get inspiration out of that. Lumpa, you don't believe that to be true, even though
None of us do.
you believe that there's gotta be.
Oh no, Arleth does. Okay.
Yeah, you believe there's gotta be another explanation for this. Hugh also thinks that there's gotta be another explanation. There's a trick to this. And you still manage to rationalize an explanation for this that is not the truth that the Sphinx is telling you.
Well, I think the explanation, because he already trusts the Sphinx implicitly due to that nat one earlier, but he also is still wary of Erithus, because he thinks Erithus is crazy given the earlier behavior. So I'm thinking that's the explanation.
Very well.
Lumpa's using her perception, just like how I don't see anything on Arathis' hands and Erastus can't, going like, well, the Sphinx may see it like that. There must be a different thing to see it as.
And Arleth, you just witnessed that, so you believe in what you just seen. And what was your sanity before?
21.
So it's now 20, and you can add that to your ideals. That
Okay.
that thing I put it there. That's little truth.
And Cthulhu is making his way back up to the chamber where the Sphinx is.
Yes, and now there is a massive hole above where change just rocket itself, and you can see that there's dust and pieces of rock all over the place, and where change just pretty much carved a hole through the ceiling of the cave. And now, as you look up, you can see his star shining immediately above you.
Arathis will look at Arleth. What has occurred here? What just happened? You were here to witness.
He exploded. That's new. I'll point at the star. It appeared right after he exploded.
Curious.
Was it when he ate the shards? There's no other explanation until he consumed
I'd say
them.
that's a good bet. Yeah.
Well, I wish he left
There
out
is
those
still, by the
shards.
way, guys, there's still a chest with another 7. Seems that they are quite
Yeah,
delicious.
I know,
There's
right?
Alright, who's next? Chug, 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 chug.
Well, I'm not
Who
gonna.
can beat Change's record of 6 consumed shards?
Well, Lupa would not want to eat
5.
one, but Lupa would definitely want to take one to study.
I thought you consumed one and then consumed 5 more.
I
No,
thought it was
It's not at 5.
5 total.
5
Yeah, I
total.
think I consumed 1 and then 4 more.
Um,
There were 13, so there's
7 left.
8
Seven
left
left.
then.
yeah.
Well,
eight.
because the rolls have 4, 8, 4, 8, 3, which it doesn't matter. Either way,
Yeah.
he's a star now.
Yeah.
And by the way, above the table change. Would you like to leave an advice to your future players about demigodness and divinity, and I don't know, perhaps turning yourself into a star made you wiser?
You know, do not be a whimsical idiot. That is my advice. Also, maybe don't let the dice decide everything. I said, yeah, I'm gonna let the dice decide if I eat more of these things. I was expecting to get like 1 or maybe 2 more. I did not expect to end up eating 5 of them. It is what it is.
And what would be the name you would give your star, change star? Loading.
Loading, yeah.
Loading answer.
Suffering.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it a small blue drop.
All right. And you guys here,
Aqua drip.
and you guys here from the Sphinx.
I'm gonna call that star a small blue drop. A small blue drop star.
Fitting.
Loompa's a bit sad that the Sphinx managed to name that star before her, claiming that he gave it the official name.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I think Ixtiel would like to go next.
Very well. XTQ. The Sphinx says,
The fire realm is not outside the multiverse. It is beneath it, devouring it layer by layer.
and you can roll your sanity check to see if you can cope with this information. What was your sanity before?
18, and I passed the previous check, so I assume it stays the same.
Still 18, yes. Well, this one you failed, and it's now 17. And you believe
Alright.
this to be true, and you can add this to your ideals.
Yep.
The next thing he says to you
Is time does not flow. It drips, pulling in cracks too small for your senses to perceive.
That's another sanity check.
yes.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Excellent. And you recover 1 sanity point, and you are back to 18.
Oh wait, how did you do that?
Nat 20.
I rolled a nat 20 on my sanity check.
Oh no.
Okay. I was like, because that was my biggest question: is how do we get it back?
Yes. You can get it back to role playing, and you can get it back through nat 20. And you get a plus 1 on a nat 20. If you however roll a nat 1, you lose 2.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
get-
Well, we saw that because it happened to change.
I'm guessing my nat 20 doesn't increase mine then from the previous one.
From the previous one, you rolled a
'Cause
nat 20.
I had lucky to. You gave me inspiration for it on my
Oh.
previous.
Yeah, he got a nat
Okay.
20.
Oh, and then you got a nat 20. Okay, but you were already on your maximum.
Oh, wait, it doesn't go above. Gotcha.
It doesn't increase your maximum. No.
Gotcha.
So your maximum is the cap of your character, is the sanity that they started.
So do we need to keep track of our maximum then? Do
Your
like 19 out of 22? Should
yes,
I put that?
I believe I posted as a handout as well in the server, so you should have that information. But yes, I'm always tracking 18 of 18, 20 of 21, 7 of 16. That's how I'm
Okay.
tracking.
All right.
Okay.
Does honor do the same thing? Do we need to do?
Honor doesn't. No, honor you can increase because it's
Okay.
perception. You can change. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Do I also get inspiration for that nat 20?
Sure. Why not? And Loompa, you should have
We're
inspiration.
realizing how valuable this stuff is.
You should.
So, yeah.
You should also have inspiration from that nat 20.
Perfect, I added that.
And XTQ, you don't believe that about time at all. That's not. And then he tells you. And then he tells you something
else. You were never born. You were simply found, fully formed, by the first entity to glance in your direction.
that you believe. You believe you were never born. You were simply found, fully formed by the first entity that glanced in your direction. So yeah, you were just like being made out of clay.
Ixtiul is looking around. He is clearly shook.
And
With this
Ixtihu,
revelation.
you're now 17 of 18, and yes, those are things that are hard to comprehend, and you're gonna be digesting them for quite some time.
Oddly enough, you think I'm crazy, yet you're less sane than I am.
Relative
that's part of
insanity,
why.
though.
That's part of why. Because he's paranoid. Any
And,
sign of madness and others is gonna put him on edge.
so you can add those two to your ideals and choose a chest. Now we already had two chests that have been picked up. Let me put a little X on top of them. So
Well, one that was picked up, the other one's still open and half
yes,
empty.
the one.
Yeah.
Yes, so these two are no longer there. But if you're gonna pick a new
But
one,
I wasn't in here to see what happened, so as a player, I want to get one of the Far Realm shards to investigate and study, but my character does not know that there's still
well, you saw
seven
when
of
he
them
ingested
left
the
in.
first
were-
one. You were there when he
Yeah.
ingested the first one, so whatever
Yeah.
happened next is pretty
Okay.
straightforward to deduce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we leave, I'll grab one.
He's gonna head up and take this, and open this this one in the far corner.
All
Didn't
right.
like those big ones. They're a bit too garish for his taste.
Very well. And okay.
He opens it reverently, like carefully.
Very well. As you open, you see inside what seems to be a rod. And the rod seems to be made out of a tentacle.
I'd like to make it. Would that be an investigation or like an insight check to see if I can figure out what it is?
You can roll an Arcana, yes.
Oh, Arcana. 17.
You think you've seen something similar before when you were fighting those creatures. One of them could use their arm as a whip would come out in the shape of a tentacle, and several tentacles would just come out of it. And you think the name of you call it a tentacle rod, and it looks like this.
All right, so there is like a handle on it that is not like it's not all tentacles.
Yeah, it's like a rod that seems to be made of tentacles. Yeah.
Right, he very gingerly picks it up by the handle,
Very well.
very carefully.
The moment you pick it up, the tentacles that are on the small end wrap around your arm and go under your skin and immediately start to fuse with your muscles under your arm. as you are trying to take it and drop it off, you've noticed the entire rod turns into this tentacle form, and as it symbiotically merges with your arm. Which arm was it?
His left arm,
All right.
because he's got his glaive in his right. Right.
Very well. Your left arm is symbiotic infused to a Deern's tentacle whip.
Oh.
Oh goodness. Legend. I just bought the lucky feat, but I won't use it until next game.
Very well.
I realize how much I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, the moment I said
these
you could
sanity
use
rolls.
that, I thought, yeah, everybody now is gonna want a lucky
Yep.
to protect their sanity. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that whip disguised as a rod merged to your skin, and it's now one of your left arm has this strand of tough muscle that bears a sharp stinger on one end, and as you and it's wrapped all over your wrist, and it looks like it's coming from inside your muscle, wrap around your wrist as a tentacle, and you feel that you can control it and you can use it as a whip. But at the same time, XTHU, you think that maybe your flesh just been corrupted by the far realm, and that is like one of the worst things to your
Above
character.
the table, can you still fly?
Yeah, because he doesn't use his arms to fly. He's got arms and wings that are separate. His wings
Oh,
are separate.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, as this thing is like digging into his arm, he's frantically trying to like claw it out with his other hand. Like he drops his glaive for a moment and just starts trying to like stop it until it's finally done doing its thing, and just looking at his arm in horror.
And I think I was under the impression they had created the image of Deern's tentacle whip, but for the 2024. But I think not. I can't find it. I wish I could show you. No, it does. Yeah, they haven't. They have not created.
After a few moments, he just kind of resigns himself to it. This I will have to make do. Oh,
Aerithus really got lucky on his draw.
yeah.
Erebus didn't touch the tablet.
That's true. That's true. He did not touch it.
But I did touch the book already. So I've
okay.
already been corrupted.
Already corrupted.
I think I'm the only one who's not been corrupted yet, which we're gonna see how that happens.
I've got secondhand corruption. Okay, it's not quite as bad.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, do I need to make another sanity roll for this?
For this one, no.
Okay. All right.
Your character is definitely disturbed by it, but not something. It's not mind shattering. It's not knowledge that this mind shattering. It's something you've seen being used before. So you would you just think that accidentally you may have merged yourself with a tentacle whip, thinking it was a tentacle rod.
As he heads back out of the room, he nods somberly to the Sphinx on his way past, and then goes back to just staring in horror at his arm. Oh, and he did collect his glaive before he headed back out. He didn't just leave it on the ground.
All right.
Arathis looks at him and says, yours appears to be more apparent than mine. Interesting.
It also
As he looks
more,
at his hand and looks at next to who.
and also it looks more stable
Because his
too.
we can all see, right? Mine, I'm the only one that can see.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
But yours for all that the others can tell doesn't exist. It's just a figment of your madness.
Well, except for Arlith. Arlith knows something's going on because he was affected by it. When he
Well,
investigated
he
it.
can see that you've been corrupted by the energies of that, but he can't. He couldn't see the eye, although he was very scared of whatever was underneath those wraps.
And then, I don't believe you have an eye. I'm empathetic because I've been a victim of entropic magic from a book
Yes,
as
indeed.
well.
These books, guys.
All right. Well,
All
Luca
right.
will step forward a bit and says, "I'm ready to take the cost you're saying before I take a chest. What truths do you have for me?"
Gotta say, guys, seeing what is happening to all your fellows, you're really brave to just keep asking to tell you more truths. All right, so he says to you,
Every step you take carves a wound into the fabric of space. One day, it will bleed you dry.
Understandable. Let me roll my d20.
by all means.
Oh, I accidentally did a 100 d20. My bad.
I was like, whoa!
Now that's a
D120.
big number to roll on a D20.
I'm sorry. I was so surprised. I was like, wow, that's great. 24 does.
Very well. You either don't understand or you don't believe on what he said.
The next thing he says to you. The entire great will of the plains is merely a gear in a larger machine whose purpose no one knows.
Can I telepathically talk back to him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Bro, you still need to check. You're just
Dang.
receiving that. You can speak out loud, but you're just receiving that message.
Can I lucky that?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, luck point 2. I'm glad how many uses of lucky I get with the 2024 rules. 21.
All right. You survive believing in that other piece of truth. And then he says to you,
You are simultaneously everywhere and nowhere, but your mind is too primitive to understand the difference.
And Loompa says out loud, "Huh, neat. I'll figure that out eventually, and I'll do my roll. $20 flat.
Very well. Lumpa, you don't believe anything he's saying to you. Either that or he just went above your head.
Could you write them for me? Because Loompa will be curious about those later. Even
I got
though
you.
she may not choose not to believe it or may not understand it, it is something she'll want to research. Because what he's been saying, I don't know what he says to the other ones, but everyone's been having different reactions because of it. Oh, thank you.
There are 2 chests left. Are you going to the cheap one or to the other one?
Well, looks can be deceiving. Seeing how Change went to the nice one and all of that happened, she's going to go to the cheap one. Right here.
Very well. And as you open that chest, what you find inside is this strange staff. But I wanted to show you an image. There is strange staff inside. It seems, as you look into the chest seems too deep for the. It's almost as if the chest is a mini pocket extra dimensional space, mini pocket dimension. As you look into it, and the staff is standing up inside the chest.
Could I arcana that? That's quite interesting. The dimensional space of the chest with the object.
Yeah.
39.
You think that someone casted a spell in this chest, which is called my memories. Yes, thank you. That's the one.
Exactly
The Leomons.
what would say.
Leomons, exactly. And you think
Leomons.
someone casted that so that it could put the staff inside. And yes, it seems, for all you can tell, it seems some sort of eldritch staff.
Well, seeing how Ixtihu grabbed his and it merged, could I take the chest with me? Because Leomon's secret chest is a nice chest to have to store stuff with.
Sure, you can pick up the chest.
And I will pick up the chest, not touching the staff, and I'll say, "Thank you, Sphinx," as I walk out with my extra dimensional chest.
Okay. And finally, last but not least, Arlith.
Well, all of my friends have gone for it. My acquaintances anyway, as I look at the other 2. I may as well.
And he says to you,
The gods' power comes not from worship, but from siphoning the life force of the planes themselves.
now for that one, because you are a demigod, I'm going to give you disadvantage.
Because we kind of know it's true.
Because you just wish this one is not truth.
Okay. Let me see. Wisdom save, yeah?
Yes, you're gonna try your best. Not wisdom save, sanity save.
No, this is our sanity.
Sanity,
sanity.
my bad, my fault.
Yeah.
Let's do roll.
So Arlith, you were a 20 of 21. You have a +5 on that. Wow. And you've rolled a 14, which means you believe in this now.
Okay.
You can add to your ideals. And your sanity drops to 19 of 21. Next piece of knowledge.
The multiverse was created as a cage to imprison something far older than the gods. Something that still stirs in it.
Okay.
This one you can roll normally. You don't have to roll with disadvantage.
Hello. There we go.
Very well. Your sanity, you believe in this as well. Perhaps a consequence of believing in the first one, and your sanity drops to 18. All right. And the next one, he turns to you and he says,
Your soul is not your own. It is rented, and the lease is running out.
Okay.
wow. And you believe on that one as well. Now that one can be particularly damaging because you might start to believe that every single thing that is alive in D&D is dying because their soul is rented and and they have to return at the end of it. So yeah. So you believe in all three pieces of knowledge. Your sanity is now 17, and you can go and check the last chest.
Just a second. All right. Let's see. I will choose the last ornate, nice chest, and I will open her up.
Very well. As you open the chest, that is, you see a drawing inside, and it's the drawing of a needle on a piece of parchment.
Okay. Just a standard like syringe needle? Or
like a sewing needle.
A sewing, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll just pick up the chest as well. I think I saw the other two. I saw two bad things happen and two people pick up chest and not die. So I'm gonna pick up the chest.
Very well. You pick up the chest, and with that, all 5 chests have been selected, and you see the Sphinx nodding with its head as if saying farewell to you.
Oh, thank you, Sphinx. While your words are quite refined, we appreciate the rewards you gave us for our efforts.
The Sphinx looks at you and says,
Yes. You are survivors. Fate has yet to unravel you, though I wonder for how long. Take this as my parting gift. A truth to guide you or to shatter you. As it may, power is not a mastery. Knowledge is not wisdom. You are demigods, yes, but even gods are prey to forces greater than themselves. The far realm is not a place you conquer. It's not a thing you comprehend. It is hunger. It's chaos. And you are nothing more than treads for it to devour. Remember this, little gods. It is not the madness of the far realm that will destroy you. It is the madness you carry within. the ambition that drives you, the thoughts you cannot control, like your poor, glorious change. You may one day burn so brightly that you consume yourselves.
And
Thank you.
yep, thank you. See you later. And as all of you are carrying chests, Aratus, you said that you want to grab one of the shards?
Yeah.
All right.
So he's going to walk over and look into here, tear off another piece of his cloak, and grab one of the shards wrap it in a cloak and put it inside
Okay.
the chest next to the tablet.
Oh, Lumpa
You-
would like to.
You're going to put inside the chest with the tablet?
Oh,
That's an ominous
That is-
question.
That is what I said.
I'm just confirming if that's what you said, because I didn't hear. Is that what you said?
I have to be honest. Yes, that is what I said.
All right.
Whether I backtrack or not, but the shard is wrapped in cloth.
Very well. As you put the shard inside the chest with the tablet, the shards melt into this purple liquid and merges with the shard. It merges with the tablet, and the tablet grows in size.
Okay.
You also think that the tablet can see you. Maybe it's just your impression, or maybe you're just so freaked out by your hand that you now think that everything can see you.
Yeah. All right. Let me put a little note that
The tablet's about twice as big as it was before.
yeah, 2x. I'll put shard merged.
Just keep feeding it. See how big it'll get.
No.
You have another 8. Let's make a surfboard out of it.
No. Seeing that, he's going to just turn around and he's not going to mess with any more shards.
Very well.
We'll come back.
As you are leaving this room, you realize that the 2 chests that were destroyed were also options you could have taken. But you guys ignore because you thought that those chests has been completely destroyed. They were out of the... But perhaps you could have taken them. I mean, each one of you chooses one.
I did say that one of Arathus's that I would follow my tenant by live simply.
Yeah.
So
No, you went for the most humble one. Yeah. That was still
yes,
functional.
I did. Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
you are all leaving this temple and returning to the outside. As you leave the mist that was... as you leave the mist of the temple, heading towards the entrance, is there anything else you guys would like to do here?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go first.
Oh, Cthulhu would like to swing by the room where the that book was.
Where the what was?
The book that corrupted
Yeah.
library?
Arathus's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The library. Yes.
Not really sure on exactly what his plan is yet, but he's definitely going to swing by because that seems like something a little too shady and dangerous to be leaving it alone.
Yeah.
And that's as far as his thought process has gotten so far.
Very well. You can head back there. Did any one of you salvage anything from the 20-headed Hydra?
Oh yeah, I took blood from
No.
it.
Okay. You can add
I
that to
took
your
a vial of
inventory.
blood. Yeah, vial of blood. One thing I'll also say to Arathis while we're walking out the temple is, if you need someone to talk to regarding over that or to research, feel free to give me a message. I may not know what's going on, but I'm sure you'll want to find either answers or a way to reverse whatever you see.
Yes, I will call upon you soon.
And Ixtihu, what would you like to do?
Ixtihu is going to take the blanket from his bedroll, lay it on the ground in front of the bookshelf where that book is.
Yeah.
Take the end of his glaive and just sort of like gently pull it out, like edge it out and like drop it onto the blanket and then wrap it up in the blanket.
You can
and
see
wrap
that
rope around it.
as you are messing with this book, the tentacle in your arm starts to slowly stretch out as it's being attracted by the book.
All right, as that starts to happen, he's just gonna back way up and like Evil Dead style, use his other hand to pull that hand back.
Very well. So now the book falls into on top of the blanket on the ground. And Aratus, is there anything you would like to do as you're seeing this scene?
He'll walk forward because he was going to come back to the book as well, and he will grabbing the blanket, he will wrap the book in the blanket.
Very well. And as you're grabbing with you can feel the tickling of the eye moving around in your hand as your hand approaches the book.
Yeah, but I won't be touching the book. I'm still.
Yeah, you're just grabbing the blanket. Very well.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you guys would like to do here?
Well, I will walk over to Ixtahul and I will say, it appears that both of us are curious about the nature of this book. You were here first.
Dangerous. It is too dangerous to be left here. I have rope to bind it.
I'll hold out the blanket. I'll hold out the blanket. Do you wish to study it and research it?
He moves like he's about to say yes, and then he looks at his hand with suspicion. No, I do not think that is wise at this time.
Do you mind if I take it then for further study?
That also seems unwise, but I leave it up to you.
And Arathis, learning from what he did with the shard, will tie the blanket to one of the handles. He will not put the blanket inside the chest, and he'll take the blanket with him.
Very well. And all of you are carrying now the chests that you took out of here, right? Arleth and Lumpa, okay. Aratus, you carrying a chest as well. Ixtihu, you don't need to carry a chest because it's attached to your arm.
Yes.
Very well.
You have a light.
Which, by the way, that occupies an attunement slot and doesn't come out voluntarily.
Oh.
Yep. I've already got it in place. It is a cursed item.
Yes, it is.
You can get rid of the left arm, right? Get rid of it.
Oh, you can cut it off. I'll give you that.
Cut the whole thing.
As
Motto mail.
I got something for that.
As you leave the mist of the temple outside, as you're emerging from, the mist coalesces into in front of you into this towering figure. Her presence is both oppressive and serene. As the mist takes shapes, it gains color, and the sky clears around you. As this massive, she is bigger than mountains. As she stands there, looking at you emerging from the temple, adorned in golden threads that shimmer like woven starlight, and gazes upon you with eyes veiled by a flowing blindfold. Her staff glows faintly, and the threads of destiny just swirls around her, whispering secrets too vast to comprehend. And she looks at all of you under her, and she says,
Mortals. The gods of the multiverse have disrupted the natural order for too long, weaving chaos into the tapestry of destiny. You will aid me in restoring balance by deposing these false idols, or will you become the next threads I must sever?
and that's the moment where you all realize you are looking at the goddess of destiny, Clotho, standing in front of you. Or in that case, a projection of her.
I look to the others and go like, well, I guess this is one truth that is correct.
Can you without the voice changer? What did she say? I didn't
She
catch all of it.
says, mortals, the gods of the multiverse, have disrupted the natural order for too long, weaving chaos into the tapestry of destiny. Will you aid me in restoring balance by deposing these false idols, or will you become the next threads I must sever?
Okay.
Well, given Lumpa's alignment and also wanting balance as well, it says, well, I am one who doesn't like... Oh, sorry.
Notice, what she's proposing here is not balance. Is that you dethrone gods. Is that you take down gods that are interventionists.
Oh.
Oh.
Clotho is not like Istus. She is not about balance. She is... the hard definition of balance is, for what you know, is that Clotho does not want the gods intervening in Teros like they do right now. So she is she's some people say she's a primordial and not really a god. She is responsible for countless deaths of gods, and her followers want to dethrone the gods, particularly gods just like you guys. So what she's proposing you is that you get a free pass from being targeted by her if you serve her, and if you decided not to, you have a target on your back.
Internally, since my ally is Asmodeus, he's probably talked about this with me since I'm now a demigod.
About Clotho? No, not necessarily.
Not Clotho, but just gods in general.
Mm.
Like, and who he picks as his allies. What is some wisdom I can think of from our talks?
from your talks.
You just sit down and have coffee with him.
Nice try. No.
Dang it, I tried.
As Asmodeus is, it only talks to you when it favors him to, in terms of obtaining something.
Gosh, I love and hate my ally.
He just he's a utilitarist. He's gonna take out of you only what he wants, and he's gonna give you only what is necessary to take what he wants. That's how much you understand of him.
All right. Anyone else want to take the floor?
Above the table, think this is gonna have to be a hard pass from Xu because he's pretty interventionist.
Yeah. Anyone wants to take it?
Arathis will not, because he is a pacifist, so he
All
will
right.
try to quell any conflict.
All right. Very well. So that's 2 nays. Is anyone going to take it?
You're not going to kill us on the spot, right?
No. Arlith believes that he should not be confined for gaining these new abilities, and as such will also disagree.
Okay.
Loompa will say, well, I appreciate the offer you've given us, Clothis. While I may will not serve, I think you'll find it mutually beneficial if rather I don't intervene with what you're doing. But I will not follow your offer.
All right. And as you say that to her, you can see her shape starts to fade, and she says to you,
So be it. Destiny does not tolerate dissent. My champions will come for you, and your threads will be cut.
and as she says that, she vanishes into mist. And on that note, we'll conclude our session here tonight. Thank you for those of you who've been watching us, and if you like the content, and if you there's a lot more coming, please subscribe so you are always informed and notified when there's new things coming out and when the new episodes are coming out. So thanks everybody, and I see you